Did you know that holding your urine for just a few hours could be silently damaging your bladder and setting you up for serious prostate problems later in life? Most men over 50 have no idea walking around with a ticking time bomb in their pelvis, and what I am about to share with you could literally save you from years of painful complications that millions of American men are facing right now. Picture this scenario that might sound all too familiar. You're in the middle of an important meeting at work, or maybe you're driving on a long stretch of highway with no rest stops in sight. You feel that first gentle urge to urinate, but you think to yourself, I can hold it a little longer. Maybe you're watching your grandson's baseball game and don't want to miss his at-bat. So you ignore that signal your body is sending you. Here's what is happening inside your body during those moments that could change everything about how you think about bathroom breaks. When you consistently hold urine beyond your body's natural signals, you're forcing your bladder muscles to stretch way beyond their healthy limits. Think of your bladder like a balloon at a birthday party. Fill it too much, too often, and eventually it loses its ability to snap back to its original shape. This leads to something called incomplete emptying, which means stagnant urine just sitting in your system, creating the perfect breeding ground for bacteria that can travel up to your prostate and cause inflammation, infection, and long-term complications that could affect your quality of life for years. But wait, before you think this is just another scare tactic video, let me tell you about my friend Tom, a 58-year-old marathon runner who came to me last month complaining about frequent nighttime bathroom trips and a burning sensation when he urinated. For years, he'd been holding his urine during long training runs, thinking he was building mental toughness and discipline. What he was actually doing was training his bladder to malfunction and creating the perfect storm for bacterial infections that were now threatening his prostate health. Here's what Tom and most people don't realize about how your bladder actually works. Your bladder can technically hold up to 16 ounces of fluid, but that first urge to urinate typically occurs around 6 to 8 ounces. That first signal isn't just a suggestion from your body, it's your early warning system telling you that optimal function requires emptying soon. When you ignore this signal repeatedly, you're essentially teaching your bladder to ignore its own natural reflexes, leading to a condition doctors call bladder dysfunction. Now here's where this gets really concerning, especially for men in their 50s and beyond. Your prostate surrounds your urethra like a donut around a straw. When your bladder doesn't empty completely due to overstretching or dysfunction, that remaining urine can back up, putting pressure on your prostate and creating inflammation. This chronic inflammation is directly linked to benign prostatic hyperplasia, which is the medical term for enlarged prostate. This condition affects over 50% of men over age 50 and can lead to serious urinary problems, sexual dysfunction, and, in severe cases, even kidney damage. Think about that for a second. Something as simple as holding your urine too long could be setting you up for problems that affect your most intimate functions and your overall health. But here's the twist that makes this even more dangerous. Recent research has shown that men who regularly hold urine for extended periods have a 40% higher risk of developing urinary tract infections. Now, you might think urinary tract infections are just a temporary inconvenience, but these infections can quickly escalate to something called prostatitis, which is a painful inflammation of the prostate that can become chronic and significantly impact your quality of life. The bacteria from these infections don't just politely stay in your bladder where they started. They can travel to your prostate, your kidneys, and even enter your bloodstream, creating systemic health problems throughout your body. Imagine trying to enjoy retirement, spending time with your grandchildren, or maintaining an active lifestyle while dealing with chronic pelvic pain, frequent urgent bathroom trips, and the constant worrying about when symptoms might flare up. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that as you've gotten older, you've started holding your urine longer out of convenience? Maybe you're in the middle of a project and don't want to lose momentum, or you're comfortable on the couch watching TV and don't want to get up. These seemingly innocent decisions could be contributing to problems that are much more serious than temporary discomfort. Now, before you start worrying about damage that might already be done, let me share with you a simple timing system that can protect your bladder and prostate health starting today. This isn't complicated medical advice that requires expensive treatments or medications. These are practical strategies you can implement immediately that could save you from years of complications down the road. First, imagine tomorrow morning when you wake up and start your usual routine. Instead of rushing through your first bathroom trip of the day, take your time. Make sure you feel completely empty before finishing. This sets a positive tone for your bladder function throughout the entire day and helps prevent the buildup of residual urine that can cause problems. Throughout your day, implement what I call the 2-hour check-in rule. Set a gentle reminder on your phone or watch to simply assess how you're refilling every 2 hours. This doesn't mean you have to urinate every 2 hours, but it means you should tune into your body and respond appropriately if you feel any urge. Think of it as a maintenance check for your urinary system, like checking your mirrors while driving. Here's the key timing that could save you from serious problems. When you feel that first gentle urge to urinate, don't ignore it. You don't have to drop everything immediately, but you should plan to find a bathroom within the next 15 to 30 minutes. This timing allows you to finish immediate tasks while still respecting your body's natural signals and preventing the dangerous overstretching that leads to long-term dysfunction. The never hold beyond 1 hour rule is absolutely non-negotiable once you feel a moderate urge. Picture yourself in that meeting or driving situation I mentioned earlier. If you've acknowledged the need to urinate, don't let more than 1 hour pass before finding a bathroom. This single rule alone could prevent the majority of bladder and prostate problems that develop from chronic urine retention. For your evening routine, implement what I call the hydration cutoff strategy. Stop drinking large amounts of fluids to hours before bedtime, but don't restrict water intake entirely because dehydration creates its own set of problems. This helps reduce nighttime urgency while maintaining proper hydration levels that keep your urinary system functioning optimally. Now, let's talk about creating an environment that supports these healthy habits. Start identifying bathroom locations in places you frequent regularly. Map out restrooms at your workplace, gym, grocery store, and along your regular travel routes. This removes the common excuse of not knowing where facilities are located and makes it much easier to respond to your body's signals promptly. Here's something that might surprise you about hydration and timing. Instead of drinking large amounts of water at once, which creates sudden overwhelming volumes that tempt you to hold longer than healthy, drink water consistently throughout the day in smaller amounts. This creates steady, manageable urine production that works with your body's natural rhythms rather than against them. Your bladder and prostate health aren't just about comfort and convenience. They're about maintaining your independence, your sexual health, and your overall quality of life as you age. Every time you ignore your body's signals, you're potentially contributing to problems that could affect your most basic daily functions and your intimate relationships. Start implementing these timing strategies today, and your future self will thank you for taking action now rather than waiting until problems develop. Remember, prevention is always easier and less expensive than treatment, and these simple habits can save you from years of complications, medical appointments, and treatments down the road. The choice you make right now about how you respond to your body's signals could determine whether you spend your later years enjoying life to the fullest or managing chronic health problems that were entirely preventable. But protecting your bladder is just one piece of the puzzle. There is a hidden network of muscles in your pelvis that most men completely ignore until they stop working properly. What I discovered about your pelvic floor will shock you. These invisible muscles control everything from urination to sexual performance, and most men over 50 have no idea they're slowly weakening every single day. The 5-minute routine I'm about to share could restore function you thought was gone forever. This changes everything about male aging.